What's going on, guys? Rick VP back. We are talking about the HyperPie again. Big shout out to Ray. Ray hit me up, I guess, last night or this morning. Saw a couple of comments on my last video, and I got to say, thanks, Ray. You brought some good, valid points, and I was able to fix a couple of things. So the big thing I was able to fix was the one button exit on the emulators. The big thing that I noticed, like I said, I changed it. I'm going to go into the menu now. You'll see it on that. But the big thing that I noticed that you do have to have the enable hotkey button pressed at the same time as the quit. So I was looking at it as only the quit recharge button should be pressed, but you actually need two buttons pushed together. So we're just going to load up real quick one random thing. Now again, for you to get the, there you go, kind of like what I was saying yesterday, that this always loads to Rampage. I don't know why, whatever, don't care. We're going to load one. As far as you're doing a one button exit, this is more like for an arcade cabinet. Basically, I have this set up where the start button, which I believe is button 9 on my Zinmo controller or keypad, is basically the enable hotkey button, and then my exit button is like button 8, which is actually to exit RetroArch. So real quick, we're going to go into the menu so you can kind of see what I did here. So my customers no longer need to see this menu. I give a big shout out to Ray for kind of guiding me on the right way of that one. Let me just show you real quick the input on that. So you're going to go to input, and then you're going to go into input hotkey binds. The big thing, again, I was missing was that I was looking at this one, quit RetroArch, and I was like, okay, I enable it. Got it. That's really my exit button. So you can see it there is button 9 that it says right in the beginning of the sentence. But the thing you have to also remember, and I didn't notice this until I did a quick Google search, but you have to have also the enable hotkeys button pressed at the same time. And there's actually a thing there. If you go into quit RetroArch, if you read the actual dialogue that comes up, it does say that you need the enable hotkey button pressed at the same time. Before I did the video, I had this enable hotkey set up my coin button, and then I'll kind of go into how I did the wiring. I'm not going to I'll try to bring the camera in, but it's my laptop. So I had originally the coin button and the exit button talking, but then I went to go play arcade, Arcade, and when I pressed the coin button, it would exit. Basically, the way we're gonna do the one button setup is that you basically have to take a wire and connect your positive leads, I'll say, not the ground, but the positive leads to your both button arcades. So making it as one single button. In reality, it's really pressing two buttons on the Zinmo. So again, this was the big thing that I got lost on. So you got the enable hotkey set. Pick whichever one you want. I have it set to my start. In reality, when a game is already started, if you press start, it's going to exit. It'll exit the emulator, but also press exit, it'll exit the emulator. But in reality, once you are in the game, you really do need like the coin and the player one, because that's start and select. But that's where I pick start as basically the one that can exit. So if you press start while you're playing a game, it's going to exit. If you press exit, it will exit as well. So we're going to get out of this. The best thing, again, is you got to see that that's the input hotkey binds. And again, just make sure that your quit RetroArch is set to one button and your enable hotkeys is set to one button. And again, you do need both pressed. I did not try enable hotkeys and quit as the same button. Maybe that'll work. I'm not going to touch this because it already works. I'm not touching it. So we're going to go back. Make sure that you do save. So you do want to go into configurations and save current configurations. And we're going to go back. So I'm going to just exit out of the menu, which is my start and select. And basically, as you can see, I can still play. I can still start. I can do almost everything here. What stinks about Rampage on this is that Rampage is really a 3-player game. And apparently on this ROM, you can only play as the 2 characters. But maybe I think inside the menu. Oh no, you could change the menu? I don't know. Basically now, if I wanted to play as Ralph, I don't think I would be able to. Anyway, focus on what we're doing. So right now, again, if I press exit, one button, it'll exit. It still works normally. I can still exit and go through about and all that, but we're going to go back into the system. And now if I press my enter button, it's going to exit as well. Again, in reality, when you play games, like you're not going to really press the start button again while you're in the game. So it actually worked. It didn't work for when I had it set to coin. That was a bad idea. So again, if I press start, that also exits it. So now, as far as you literally take your wires that are going to the button, not the ground. You're taking the button wire, the lead, the positive, and you're basically making it one connection. Maybe I could show you. I don't really want to bring the laptop too close in, but let's just see without me breaking anything. Without me breaking anything. Take my mouse out. Dude, let me see. Hold on, guys. Okay, here we go. Just so at least you can kind of see it. Okay. So this right here is my jank wire. Hold on. Jank wire here, you can see it's basically having the button from here is a wire, and then you can kind of see my gray, not my hand here, but there is a gray wire here, and basically that's making the two wires communicate. So when you press it, it basically looks like two buttons are being pressed at the same time. So you do have to get a little jankiness on this, and you have to make two wires one. Again, this is the positive lead on it, not the ground. And again, at least we got that to fix. Hold on, let me fix this. Again, at least we got that working. So now the customer doesn't have to go through the menu and all that. The one thing also I want to touch upon is this. The one thing also I want to touch upon is as far as deleting emulators and all that. I found a way. It only works on a track mode, I believe. I might be wrong. I don't care. But it does work in a track mode. Basically, inside of track mode, I have, again, start and select set up to bring up this menu, which in reality, if you press tab on a keyboard, it'll bring this up. And basically, you could go to displays, and then let's just pick one random one. Let's just say the one that I don't like, which was the Commodore 64. I'm going to leave it for the customer because you could plug in a keyboard. But if I go into Commodore 64, it says it right here, show in menu off. So if I press this and I select no, now it's not going to be on the main menu. I'm not going to take it off at the cycle. I believe the cycle means, like, you know, the menu that we just had before. This menu, I believe, is called the cycle. I'm not too sure, but basically now if I go back into, it'll allow me to. Oh, there we go. Oh, I started a game. Whoops. Hold on. Again, my one button exit. We'll bring it back. We're going to go back. So now if I look carefully here, my Commodore 64 was right here. And now it's no longer there. If I go back into the menu, and I'm going to bring back to the display. Let's go back to Commodore 64. So again, this is a way to take out the emulator without really messing around with XMLs and all that. Still getting used to this. Oh. Sorry. Bring it back. Okay, so now, like I said, if we go back here, because I know that it's here, my Commodore 64 is there now. There you go. If you wanted to ever take out the emulator and it's in a track mode, I don't know about the other mode with the whole emulation station. I don't think it's there. I don't know, but I know as far as the track mode, you do have this additional menu on a track mode. Okay. Definitely Ray told me that you can't get the Hyperspin to spin automatically, just like how I said it. The Raspberry Pi doesn't have a processor. It doesn't have enough gigahertz. It doesn't have a CPU. It doesn't have RAM. You're asking too much out of a Raspberry Pi to do that. So you do need a PC-based, laptop-based system for the attractant of random spin. The one last thing he did mention, and we're going to go into a game because I had this set, but my only gripe is that it doesn't show the letter. Maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't show the letter. So the biggest thing was that me going left and right, I could hold right to bring up the letter and circle through. But I do have my button 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, button 4 and 5. I have set to go to the next letter. S, T, U, T, R, T, E. Is it going? This is where it kind of freaks me out now. Let's see. This is next game. Let's do a better, again, see, I get annoyed at myself because I make it sound like I know what I'm doing, and then the system fools me. This is actually set up to do next. N S. No, it's jumping. It's jumping in a weird way though. You see it. If I do 1, it's gonna go to V. Oh, W. 19. Good. This is the beginning of another letter. C. Cadillac. D. F. G. It's doing it. Okay. So again, I have this set up. Basically, you go back into your menu and you go into your controls. And this again is your next display. I could take this off left and right, but I might as well leave it because it doesn't really do anything. Or I could swap it and have left and right do this previous letter. So I could do left and right. I could change it. But my gripe is that if I do hold down the button, this is me holding down the button, hoping that I could bring up a letter. And in reality, not like Hyperspin, it won't bring up a letter. It goes through the letters. I got that. But now real quick, I do want to go back to the arcade. Because now that I want the arcade, and let's say I want to do S, this T, but now R, but it's all about the file. This is under the adventures. Got it. No, I don't want to add that. TH. Oh, I see what it's doing. THD. So and then you can see at the bottom, it's right next to this 1982. It's right here. If I could point it right. It's right there. It's now going, so the electric, and then it's going to go the F. Yeah, the G. Got it. It's a little bit of, yes, it is actually how advertising going and how it works. This does not change my opinion though on Hyperspin or HyperPie, I should say. I still feel the same way about this HyperPie. At least now though, definitely at least the customer will be able to work it with ease. I don't have to worry about him changing the thing, like I said, going into a menu. But again, basically now the exit button will bring you right back. Quick stream. Appreciate you guys watching. Ray, thanks for the tips, man. Still playing with this thing, but I'm hoping to sell this thing by tomorrow. Some people are going to come check it out. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one. I hope this helped if you're looking to figure out the one button. Again, I didn't really show a great example, but you basically have to take one single wire and cross it. For you to build arcades, you have to kind of know what that means. Don't cross your grounds. That always makes the button hold down. You got to cross your inputs, your positives. Later, guys.